Welcome into this episode of Coach's Corner. Jordan Woodruff with you, and great to have you along. Today we're joined by head coach of girls track, Brad Parent, and appreciate you being here with us. And we're going to talk a little bit of track and field, and we're in the midst of it.
In the midst, yep.
You've had some good weather as of late, too.
Yeah, real good weather. Not like last year. Last year was terrible weather. Cold, windy. We had our home meet. Wind blew a little bit, but other than that, we've had some really good weather for track this year.
Yeah, and that I think perks everybody up a little bit because it's a lot better to run in 70-degree weather than 30-degree weather.
Much easier. And kids, they don't want to take off the sweats, to go run in their shorts and stuff. So I don't blame them. I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been good weather. Had some decent times, having some better times here and there. But yeah, the weather's been great. So.
And I guess. About halfway through, right?
Yeah, about halfway. I think we've gone, we had Choctaw early in the year, followed by Bartlesville. We had our home meet, and then after that we split it up. We've gone to Carl Albert with our older kids, and then Claremore with our younger kids, our freshmen. And then tomorrow we have a meet, and we're going to take our older kids to Booker T. Washington. That'll be a difficult meet.
Yeah.
And then our younger kids, our freshmen, are going to go to Coweta and hopefully have some success. The freshmen went to Claremore last week and had some success. Early in the year, they ran against the varsity girls, all of Choctaw and Bartlesville. Yeah. They weren't very happy with me. I said, "Hey, this is," and I said, "It's
good to show them what they need to do, what they're going to have to try to achieve if they want to make state eventually."
Exactly. So yeah, they got their eyes opened, and then when we took them to Claremore, we had a first and second in the 110 or 100 hurdles with the girls. Sophia Howard and Jocelyn Beard ran well. Sophia's running good. 100 hurdles, and she's also running the 300 hurdles, having a little success. So she's learning, but we've got a lot of young girls, lots of freshmen. So
yeah, and that's kind of the thing is you have some older ones, even some state qualifiers, but when it comes to this team, you told us kind of going into this season, a lot of younger ones that are just trying to, they've done it, but they haven't done it on the high school level. And once again, they saw the shock when you took them against some of the varsity of, whoa, this is a little tough. And they're hoping to get there one day.
Right, they are, and they will. It just takes, like I said, it takes time. Build some confidence. So, but that's the young ones. The older girls that we have, I've got, I run the sprinters. Coach Landis does the distance girls. And sprinter-wise, we are sharing 2 girls, well, maybe like that 4 girls with soccer right now. So 2 of the sprinters I have, Callie Jo Van Heusen and Rylan Rader, they're both soccer players, and they come back and forth with us. They've been to 2 meets. Done well, not bad. Callie Jo ran, I think, when she was a 7th grader. So it's been a while. Rylan hasn't run for us before. And we have 2 other girls that are soccer players, Sylvia Estrada, and she's a freshman, and then J.C. Davis, I believe she's a sophomore. They're distance runners, and they've been to a couple of meets. So sharing soccer players hasn't worked in the past because their games are the same days as our track meets, but this year it kind of worked out a little bit better. So we've had a few girls come back and forth, so it's worked out well.
Well, and ultimately, they're getting constant practice running. I mean, that's the thing. Is like soccer is a sport that lends itself to maybe some distance running, even some sprinting at times, because you are constantly running. So, it's worked out where you got to get them to meets. But I figure in the past, it's just like, hey, it's time to put the shorts on and let's go out there and run at the at a district or at a qualifying regional type meet, and it's different. Even though they are running, it's different to go up against somebody. But it's good that they've been able to get a few meets. I mean, that's really good this year because usually that schedule doesn't work out.
No, that's true. That's true. So it's been nice. But, something that I wasn't accustomed to. We tried it before, it didn't work, but this year it did work out well.
Yeah, so maybe it'll work out in the future.
In the future, I hope. It's okay.
Because it does make sense.
Doesn't bother me.
Yeah, especially soccer with sprinters and distance runners, it makes some sense.
Yeah, it's been nice this year. So.
All right, you talked about the runners a little bit, but talk about kind of your other disciplines. Shot put, all that type of stuff, long jump, high jump, all that.
Yeah, shot put. We've got quite a few girls in the field events. Lauren Badley, Allison Duncan, Peyton Miner, Leliana Allen, Kyla Cumsataddle. Her name's hard to say. They have a little. Every time I ask the girls, there's always a new name for her. So, but Cumsataddle's all I know.
And sometimes even I've always laughed too, because I know it with doing radio. You can ask the kids. Sometimes they'll tell you even the wrong name. The parent is like, "Hey, that's not their name."
Yeah, exactly. So, but we've got I want to say 5, 7 shot put discus girls. Doing a decent job this year. Lauren was in the state finals last year, and so far this year, I think she has finished maybe 1 first place and 1 or 2 third place. So she's still throwing well. She tells me, I can be better, Coach.
Yeah, I
need to throw better, but doing well there. Like I said, all those girls are doing shot and disc. There's only 2 freshmen right now, girls, Kiana Moore and Liliana Alva. Those are the only 2 freshmen. We'd like to have more. There's 2. I'm getting ready to lose quite a few.
Yeah.
There's about 4 seniors in that mix. So trying to get the young girls out. Junior high wise, we've got roughly 45 girls total.
Wow.
And only 1 thrower.
Oh, wow.
1 thrower. So we're kind of lacking right there. But 1 long jumper, Jocelyn Beard. And then 1 high jumper, Emma Van Heusen, which is Callie Van Heusen's sister, who's playing soccer. But nobody in the pole vault, mostly because we don't know how to do the pole vault.
Yeah, you're saying there's not a lot of schools that do the pole vault.
Really
and that's even 6A schools. Not a lot of them do it because it is hard to find coaches, and it can be very dangerous if you don't do it the right way.
Exactly. And I have actually coached it back when Coach Guess was here, long time ago. It's probably 15 years ago. I coached it, and it was a struggle.
Yeah.
Trying to learn it all. And
did you do it?
I did not attempt it myself.
I think you got to attempt it.
Yeah, I think you would have to, wouldn't
you?
No, I'm not getting on a pole. So the girls were asking me the other day, said, "Are we going to do pole vault?" And I said, "Well, when we find somebody to do it right."
Well,
yes.
I figure it can be one of those things. I know with individual things like that. I remember FFA with like kids at my school that wanted to show.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't really do it, but if they wanted to do it, you're like, hey, go do it on your own.
Right.
We will support you fully.
Exactly.
As far as taking you to the meets and making sure you're there, part of the team. So that's almost where it's at with some of these disciplines.
Yeah, and there is a coach up in Newkirk, Coach Sublett, that knows how to do the pole vault, but it's kind of difficult to get her down here to help our kids out when she's got to do her own kids. But in the past, she said, anytime you need help, let me know. I'll be glad to help you out with that.
Yeah, and another one I think that's hard, you don't see a lot, is the triple jump.
No, we don't have that.
Yeah.
We're just the long jump. But triple jump.
That's another one of those disciplines it's hard to, teach.
Yeah,
I feel
real hard to teach. Like right now, last year we had a girl, Lena Straub, foreign exchange student that went to state running the hurdles. And she was a 3-stepper, so we're trying to get some of our girls to 3-step right now, and it's difficult.
Yeah,
very difficult.
Well, when you've been doing it a certain way for so long, it makes it tough.
She trained, overseas, and she just came in and she'd already been doing it, so she knew what to do, and she looked really good at it. And you try to get your girls to come up through there and do the same thing, but it's a struggle.
Yeah.
So it takes a little while, and they get frustrated, but said, hey, just get over it for right now, and then we'll get on to the step part later.
Yeah, one thing with track and field, especially, what I see, it's one of the first sports that I feel like kids are introduced to, because when they're in like pre-K kindergarten, they'll have their track day or whatever where they do stuff.
Yeah.
And then it kind of continues. They'll add some other sports along the way.
Right.
But it is a sport that everybody is somewhat introduced to early on. Mm-hmm. And when you get in high school, it becomes a really good... you don't want to say that. You're the head coach, of course, but you coach other sports as well.
True.
It really becomes one of those sports that's this haven for kids in those other sports in the spring to stay competitive, right?
Competitive, yes. I've told, been in with I was with the basketball girls, the high school girls, and we tell them, hey, get out here and run track and improve your speed. It'll make you stronger physically, just running every day, and we'll help you out in basketball. We coach football too. Coach McHenry and he's got the boys track team, and we tell those boys in there all the time, hey, come out and run track. You want to get faster, you're going to get faster in track. You're going to get stronger. You'll be able to do things better, run routes better, whatever, cover guys better in the backfield. So there's a few guys out, but not as many as we'd like. So
well, and the track and field too, it can go with, like, you can go do it and then go shoot the basketball 30 minutes. Or hit the weight room 30 minutes. That there's stuff that you can do in track and field. It really is a good sport to kind of help you advance, but you can still do the stuff you need to do for the other sport a lot of times.
Exactly. And that's kind of what we're building towards. And seems like our numbers are up lately. So last year, I believe we had roughly maybe 30. The year before that, we were down around the 20s. So right now we're up in the 40s. So it's looking good. And like I said, junior high, it's kind of consistent. It's about a 45 every year. Of course, it's 7th and 8th grade combined. So
And when high school, you lose a few because priorities change.
Right. Oh yeah. And hey, flat out, it's just difficult to. If you're 2 sports, 3 sports in high school, that's a haul.
Well, and one thing I remember, because I was myself like this, you may have a chance to do something, be pretty special your senior year, but once you get to that spring semester like you are now, you're like, hey, I just want to break.
Yeah, exactly.
So you see that a lot, I think, sometimes as a kid that may be able to be a state qualifier.
Right.
They step back and say, you know what, we've been doing this for 7 years, and now I just want to step back and enjoy this last part of my senior year.
Yeah, you see that a little bit every now and then, so... But right now, our girls, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
So I know that the one senior, Callie, who is the soccer player, she's back and forth, and she hasn't come off that way yet.
Yeah.
So it's been nice.
That's good.
You run into that a lot, though, with the seniors.
Yeah, it's tough. Like I said, I understand that. Yeah. So kind of go through the schedule that's left for you guys leading to what the regional will be, and hopefully maybe you get 1 or 2 qualified for state.
So we have coming up tomorrow, we will take our varsity to Booker T. Washington. Our freshmen will go to Coeed on Friday. Next week, next Friday, we'll go to Collinsville, and we'll take freshmen through high school. It'll be a big meet in Collinsville, usually a really good meet. And then May 1st to Thursday, we'll have our conference meet. It'll be in Choctaw, and we will run against some really good competition. It's Choctaw, Enid, Putnam City West, Putnam City North, us, and one up Midwest City.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very difficult conference to compete with, but hey, you see where you're at.
It's a good show right before regionals.
Right before regionals, and then regionals will start May 10th on Saturday. Yeah. So. Hey, we're just building. Hopefully we get somebody.
It is kind of interesting to me though. Track and field's kind of the last one of
the
year, because you have all the other sports, soccer, baseball, wrap up that week before the state track and field. I feel
exactly. Yeah, we're pushed all the way to the end of school this year. So the last day of school is May 16th. That's when the state meet is, and some of them are sitting there going, "Well, hey, if I make it to state, I graduate Friday night."
Yeah.
So I'll have to go run and then get back for graduation. I was like, that'd be a good thing right there.
That's just a good story to tell in the future if that happens, right?
Exactly.
I mean, so that's not a bad thing.
So.
Well, man, best of luck, and wish the girls best of luck as well. And let's see if we can't get a few qualify for state and get a few medalists throughout some of these other meets.
You bet. Yeah. Thank you.
Coach, thank you very much.
You bet.
Coach Brad Parent, we're girls track and field. I want to say thanks to Chris behind the camera. That's going to do it. Jordan Woodruff saying so long here for this episode of Coach's Corner. Until next time, go Cats.